So while it seems like I like characters with a ton of personality and plot, there are times where a character catches my attention, but they honestly don't have too much to them, beyond a few elements. An example includes Kazuya Mishima, but there are honestly characters with far less than even him that I enjoy and would love to see more of. At the very least, not enough material for me to cover them in a Saviors of the Tale episode. So why not dedicate a list to those characters? And keep in mind, I really like these characters, and me making fun of them is just, well, to build up humor. As, well, they are also flawed. Otherwise, I think this list would be boring as hell. So without further ado, here are the top 10 characters that I like for very little reason. Number 10. Glen from Chrono Cross. Chrono Cross sadly suffers a lot when it comes to character development, since there are so many damn playable characters. I can make a list with this game whenever I finally get around to reviewing it, but for now, I want to focus on Glen as he is one of my favorite characters to use, but there's admittedly not much done with him. If you never recruit him, he's pretty much wasted, forced into prison and being asleep, and then nothing. After you recruit him, well, he's the only guy who can do the X strike with Surge, along with the only character who can wield 2 Einlansers at once. He's pretty much the second best character in terms of gameplay, and when it comes to his character, what I like about him is mostly headcanon stuff. Oh, and anyone who can scarf down churros has my respect. Or any food, really. Number 9. Tharja from Fire Emblem Awakening. Oh, I know a lot of people who love her, and a lot who despise her. Honestly, I can understand both sides, given that she is both attractive, but also super attracted to someone for very little reason. Hell, she hardly gets much development based on some things I saw of her. She's even reincarnated as another character just to try and continue her damn stalking. Yeah, that is kinda creepy. I think what I appreciate the most from Tharja, though, is seeing a character like this fighting for the good guys. We had seen the Yandere types before in anime and such, but something about Tharja made her much more appealing. And she doesn't turn out to be some traitor or any drama other girls would give, like Lucy or Yuno. Plus, for as obsessed as she is over Robin, she does still settle down with any guy. And some of the sports there are fairly interesting. I think one of my favorites is with guys, if only because Tharja actually gets bothered at someone obsessing over her, albeit from a spell she caused. Also, it's pretty much pitting crazy against crazy, so what's not to like about that? Number 8. Lu Lingqi from Dynasty Warriors. This is pretty recent thanks to Godseekers, and I really don't have much to say. Lingqi is the daughter of Lu Bu, and was pretty damn fierce in the games. And that's all I can really think of. She is pretty cute while also being frighteningly strong, while also giving off the vibe of, screw with her and she will break every bone in your body. More and more, I think I am becoming a masochist. Number 7. Nero from Devil May Cry 4. Nero is thankfully not the worst written character in the Devil May Cry series, but there is no denying how cliché he does feel in the story. Yet that doesn't stop him being fun at times and a damn good character to play as. His playstyle is both good for old and new players, easy to use but very hard to actually master thanks to revving up his sword. Not to mention his taunts are pretty damn awesome, as are his cinematic grabs as he just pounds his foes into the dirt. Maybe I'll have more to say when I finally review DMC4, but right now, not much. Still way better than the reboot dumbasses too. Number 6. Nina Williams from Tekken. Dear God, this woman kicks my ass so much in Tekken. Trust me, if you ever play a match against me in this game, pick one of the 2 Williams sisters and you will kick my ass all over the damn place. And yet, that's why I really like Nina Williams. You know, at this rate, I'm wondering if I should just make a list of women I like who can kick my ass. That honestly seems easier. Maybe if I play Death by Degrees, I can get behind her character more and find more to talk about, but as it stands, yeah, I don't have really that much reason to like her. Nina Williams is just a badass. Moving on. Number 5. RNAAx from Final Fantasy XV. Yeah, I'm counting her as she doesn't really do much in the game. She fights Noctis' group as she is hired by the Empire, but we know nothing about her past. In fact, she later kinda sorta joins Noctis' side by making a living fighting against daemons, and because she doesn't really trust the Empire anymore due to their involvement with the monsters, so she's able to make a competent choice, and given the sheer dumb some characters are capable of, I appreciate her for that. But more importantly, I love her combat style, as she provided a very fun boss fight I really wish I didn't overlevel on. Plus, she was fun to have in my party, and could have easily replaced a certain asshole who can go die in a fire for being an unfeeling mother. But yes, I really love RNAAx and wish the game gave us more of her. Just don't expect her to be on Saviors of the Tale or for me to do an essay on her. That is sadly impossible. Number 4. Deborah from Dragon Quest V. And it's funny because on both the surface and even according to some of the developers, she's believed to be one of the worst options, even a bad end. When you first meet her, she's very spoiled, and it's definitely not a good combo right there as she constantly makes demands and is very dominant. and won't even let the player sleep on the bed with her even when they are married. Yet there is some development for her character, considering she would have to sleep with the protagonist to, well, get pregnant. She even reveals that she doesn't want the main character to leave her when visiting his old hometown, which was destroyed. Though when she does actually have children, she does have genuine change for her character, pretty and protective of her kids, hell, even of her husband. There's still elements of her old personality, and she could still be harsh, but I never got the sense that she doesn't care. Sometimes. Not to mention, it's rare for me to see couples where the woman is usually much more dominant, as seen in the ending where she is leading the dance. These developments are small, perhaps even questionable to others, but Tabor is probably my favorite wife choice in the game, and it also helps really show that I am indeed a masochist. I'm just coming to terms with that now. Number 3. Joachim Valentine from Shadow Heart's Covenant. This guy wasn't meant to be taken seriously. Like, at all. He's a constant joke that contributes very little to the actual plot, but he is still frigging awesome due to how over the top this shit is. He chooses to unleash his full power only when wearing a mask. He will pick up random crap around the world and proceed to smack bows to death with it, and that includes his own coffin. He has his own theme song! He even jumped high into the sky up a tower with 100 wrestling rings, beat the living hell out of these barely naked dudes with curry. He even opens his own sushi restaurant that he forces his sister to go through in a similar battle with his master. Minus, the gay sex, of course, like in Game 2, which in this case would have been incest in Game 3, but thank God that didn't happen. Trying to take this character seriously is impossible. I have an easier time trying to tell you why the story of Senran Kagura is deep, despite the girls there losing all of their clothes during a fight. I said before, and I shall say it again. Joachim is Joachim, and he should never have to change. Number 2. Morgan Onslin from Darkstalkers. Let's be real, you saw this coming. Morgan is pretty much on almost everyone's top 10 list when it comes to beautiful women in gaming. It's hard not to see why, given certain assets. That and she's a succubus, which basically means she has to get some kind of stimulation, mental or physical in her case, to keep herself alive. Sure, the cartoon fucked her up, but I will not speak of that travesty. I will, however, remind you that it exists. And to be fair, there's a fair amount of interesting things regarding her character, at least in Namco X Capcom and how she defends Lilith, or with how she is willing to fight to save the human world in several crossover games. I can't really call her a hero though, given her love for a good fight and excitement. Yet I think that's another reason why I like her so much. So, really not much to say here either. She's hot and she can kick a ton of ass, all without being some damsel in distress. That is an instant win for me. And number 1 is Elfeld Valentine from Guilty Gear Xrd. Yeah, I'm not gonna have any moral high ground when I get to Fate Extra, and its servants due to my love for Elfeld. This character basically tries to find someone she can marry, defeat them to make them sign a contract to be wed, or even uses a bullet to make the person she chooses fall in love with them. Combine that with some cute animations and such, yeah, she is literally the concept of a goddamn waifu. Then you actually play the story and those elements seem to mostly fade into the background, giving a genuine character behind it all. Some of her best moments do come when she has to interact with her crazy-ass mother, learning the horror of who made her and what she was really like, which was basically the Joker. No, for real, this is practically the Joker. I defy you to prove me wrong. Or in the previous game when she tries to help her sister. Despite the danger Elfeld faces, you can clearly tell she cares a great deal about those close to her. There's nothing really to hate about her, but try to ask me to make a Saviors of the Tale episode is hard. Mainly because in Game 2, she barely does anything due to being captured. I really am hoping by the time the third game comes out, she'll get her original color back. She's an enjoyable character that keeps me interested in where Guilty Gear is going. Despite the bullcrap they pull with Milia Rage. At least some of the other characters didn't suffer, I think. And that's my list. Yeah, trust me, with lists like this, I will not charge you on Patreon. There will likely be more in the future, but for right now, I hope this proves I am not some snob and can have fun. I'm the smartest moron, and I will see you next time.